Working on the Toyota today. Problem is, we got ourselves an airbag light. What's causing it? Pulled out the Autel because, you got one, you use it. Got the OBD plugged in, so now I am going to see if I can figure out what's going on with the SRS light. Trouble codes. Okay, so we have two current codes, two historical codes. They're the same. And it is the driver's side airbag. And we have a circuit open and a second step circuit open. So there's a clock spring that sits behind the steering wheel. And what that does is it allows you to turn the steering wheel without the wires getting bound up inside the airbag. And sometimes those can fail. And I'll pull this off and show you how to do a diagnostic to confirm, because you can test the resistance in the line to see if you have an open circuit. But this is pretty consistent with the open circuit there. Now, I wonder what special functions I can do with this thing. Sometimes vehicles will let you test the continuity of the circuit, but this one is not going to let us. So, I'm going to disconnect the battery. Okay. Hoopty. Come on now. Now the battery's disconnected, we can take the airbag off. If you squeeze your eyes onto the side of the wheel, you've got these little covers here. You just get a pick in there. That pops off. There you got a bolt there that stayed in place. You can kind of see the threads poking through. Another one right there. Yellow wires are almost always, I think it's an industry standard, your airbag wires. They'll be coated in this yellow flex tube, or they'll just be thick yellow themselves. We have two connectors here that go to the back of the airbag, and then those go to the clock spring through this connector here. These are just steering wheel controls and a horn. Disconnect the horn from down there, feed it up through. Remember that it goes back down through there when we plug it back in. Tuck that out of the way, and then I am going to disconnect these guys. So these guys have yellow little lock on them. Hopefully you can see what's going on. Press those down. Come on now. That one pressed down fairly easy. This orange one is being a pain in the butt. Go. Airbag. You can probe these from either side, really. If you have an open circuit, it's a problem. Now, you can also, what I mean by either side is behind here, if I were to pull this trim off, I would see that the clock spring has wires coming into it from the back side. This is the front side. If you think about it, we're sitting in front of it. You can probe it either way. It doesn't really matter as long as you are aware of what you're doing and what your reading is. And clock springs are pretty cheap, so if you're getting an open circuit here, high likelihood it's the spring, unless you think you have rodent damage, and then you probably have a break in the harness somewhere. That's a whole different type of diagnostic scenario. You have the two circuits. It's a dual stage airbag, so circuit 1 and circuit 2. I think orange is primary, black is secondary. If you have an open circuit in either one, then it's going to throw the code. So let's see if we can probe this. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not going to fit my probe in there. But what I can do, open up the back a little bit. Stick my probe in there on both sides. I am getting an open circuit on this one. Gonna confirm, still getting an open circuit. So my primary circuit is open. I'm gonna test my ohm meter real quick just to make sure I don't have a problem there. It seems to be functioning just fine. Now I am going to test circuit 2. Open this guy up, probe, open circuit. So I've got open circuits on both sides. Next step for me is going to be to remove the steering wheel. Start by taking this nut off, and then I'm going to use these two holes with a puller to drive this thing out. My steering wheel's not locking, so I'm going to hold it straight with my knees. Get this bolt off. Not a bolt. Set that in the cup holder so I don't lose it. That was a 19 millimeter if you needed to know that. If you don't know how to set up a steering wheel puller, it's pretty easy. We're going to make a video about that, but it really is just like 2 bolts and then the centerpiece. Now for the magic. The 13 millimeter socket over the center bolt, and just twist. I think it already broke loose. Yep, some of them are really tight. Fortunately, this one was not surprising. It's a Toyota Camry. Now, I should mention, it's a good idea to mark the steering wheel. I like to mark it at the 12 o'clock position with the paint pen before you pull it. That helps make sure you get your steering wheel back aligned. I think probably at some point this had screws here to hold it all together, but not anymore. So you can just pop that out. Careful with your ignition. I don't even know if I needed to remove that trim piece because it just popped out, but you know, there we go. And then we got color-coded wires. This is what I was talking about, the back side of this. And so pop those out, and then I can come in here and test these again just to confirm whether or not I have an open circuit. Go to ohms, set that somewhere that you guys can see maybe. Okay, and just for the sake of the video, I'm going to plop that guy back in there so that I don't have to try to hold everything with two hands and keep my head still for the camera. Yeah, open circuit. Pull those connectors all the way out so you can see I'm getting a good connection. Open circuit. This is definitely bad. This gives me a better opportunity to show you though. This part connects to the steering wheel, and see it can move independently of the wiring harness that plugs in down here. And I would bet if we open this up, we would see that it is broken inside. And I'm going to do just that. So I'm waiting on parts anyways. And so I don't think I've ever opened one of these up. I am having a hard time getting this thing to separate. Okay, so open it up. And I think I pretty much guaranteed I just destroyed mine by doing that. You can see this ribbon. Ooh, yeah, that's I don't think that was me. I think that ribbon was just severed. But at any rate, that's where your brake would be, somewhere in that ribbon. So that's what they look like. Ooh and ah. Ooh, ah. New clock spring came in, and let's see if we can get a part number for you. I don't know. I'll do an Amazon description link maybe. Oh, look, there's a part number. Keep C25603. Okay, and it comes with a clip so that it doesn't turn too much. You can tell when installing the steering wheel, you point the wheel straight ahead, rotate 2.5 turns from the left end, align the notch marks, and then go from there. So let's do that real quick. Okay, that's 1.5. That's 1.5. The wheels should be straight, and they are. And then I got 1.5 the other way. So I don't know what it's talking about, but I'm just going to go wheels straight. Again, I have my paint marks aligned. And I want to show you what a good reading looks like on these connectors. So I'm going to pop the connector up. You don't have to do this on yours. I'm only doing this so I can show you what the resistance reading looks like on a good clock spring. And right there you can see I've got 1.1 on my resistance on this side. And then get in here on the black connector and struggle bussing. 1.3 on the black one, 1.2 maybe. I didn't really have any doubt that mine was the clock spring, but that just goes to show if you're not sure and you want to try to do some diagnostic beyond the scan tool, you can do that. Or if you don't have a scan tool, you could probably do this and figure out if it's your problem. Now, for the reinstall, I'm going to plug in. Somehow I bent a couple of my pins, or maybe they came pre-bent. That was interesting. Okay, you'll hear that one click. Real positive click like that. And then this bottom one pushes in just like that. I am going to align mine with this at the 12 o'clock. And in case you forgot, on my new one, it tells me top. That's kind of cool. And then pull that guy out. Push these through. Steering wheel goes back on. Paint marks aligned. Put the nut back on. I'm going to look up the torque spec. It's only 25 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to, yeah, right? Yeah, just like that. Feels good. Really, though, I mean, you should probably torque yours. Yeah, torque specs are no joke. Plug in that top one again. Then our horn. Don't forget that. Goes down there. And then color-coded. Orange to orange. Like that. Black to black. Push that guy in. Give them a little tug. Make sure they're not going to come loose. Pop the wheel back on. Tighten these little guys. Oh, dang it. You know what? I forgot to put my trim piece back on. I'm just going to redo that real quick. These aren't the right screws, but they're what I had laying around, and you know, they're better than nothing. Cool. Now let's do the whole shebang. Now, finger tight on the sides here, and after you get them in finger tight, go in with your ratchet, snug them up. There's one side. The other side, give it a tug, make sure it's good. Okay, plug these little clips back in. Good enough. All right, let's see if our code is still there or if we need to reset it. Airbag light's gone. Ba-ba! Don't worry about the flashing ABS light. I'm doing some brake work over there, so just ignore it. But the airbag light's gone. Yay!